Hey, what's up, fellow traders? I hope you guys had a great start to the week. Hope you had a good weekend as well. I didn't get to do any videos last week because I was swamped with doing sessions and trying to get these guys, these my mentees, through their evals that were working on evals. And today they started. I had three started today in their first profit paying account. Started last night when the market opened at 6 and got some opportunities. And I'm going to go over the chart with you. I'm going to show you exactly what we did all day long. But got the they qualified for payout after one day. So tomorrow, as long as they don't go in and start fooling around trying to make more money, they are going to be able to request a payout tomorrow. And I told them to do that. One I think is only up maybe uh 260 bucks. Take it. Take your first payout. Don't sit there and wait and try to build it up. Take your first payout. You'd be surprised how much that does for your mindset. All right, but like I said, we're gonna go over that here in a minute. But what I want to talk to you about today is this is what we've talked about all week is, are you prepared for this? Are you prepared for this? Okay, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more after we cover some other stuff. But I want you to think about that. Ask yourself that question. Are you prepared for this? But before we move forward, I want to remind you guys I haven't talked about these guys in a minute, but Trade Day is what I recommend. It's who I recommend for brand new traders coming in or traders who have been struggling, especially with their drawdown. You have an opportunity here to choose the drawdown that you want. Okay, day one payouts, no activation fee when you pass your eval, so you don't have to pay any more money. You get your profit paying account and then you go to work. You can trade up to 6 accounts now. Okay, it was 3, now it's 6. Used to be 7 day eval, now it's 5 day. So everything is, kind of on an equal footing with Take Profit Trader. They were my favorite, but still with the eval, they have the end of day drawdown. But when you go to Pro or your profit paying account, it goes back to intraday, which throws a lot of people for a loop. Here in Trade Day, you can choose. I'm gonna show you in a minute. You can choose to get an end of day drawdown account, and then when you go to your profit paying account, it stays in the day. It doesn't flip back. But discount code AJT66 if you want to sign up, or the link will be in my description of this video. But here's what I was talking about. You can choose. Now I always recommend you start out with a 50K. The quicker you can pass your eval and you can get to profitability, I'm telling you, it does a lot for your mindset. So here you could choose intraday, static, or end of day. I always recommend end of day for brand new traders. I know it's the most expensive account, but let me tell you, you will love it. You will flat love it when you get to your profit paying account. And you don't have to deal with the intraday BS. Okay, a static account is just straight a straight $500 drawdown. You know, you lose $500, you lose the eval. You have to start over. You know, some of you that are a little bit more advanced can probably do that. But I love the end of day for brand new traders. It really takes a lot of the stress off of you, and you're able to trade a lot freer. But if you have any questions about trade day, shoot me an email. My email will be in the description of my video, or you could leave me a message here and we can hook up. All right, so the question again, are you prepared for this? Meaning, are you prepared for this trading life? Okay, I know you can prepare for it, you can study for it, you can practice for it, but nothing, absolutely nothing prepares you for the real challenge other than actually being in it. Okay, it's just like when we're in the military, when we are going through training. You know, they're doing their best to train us and to help develop the right mindset and, you know, build our confidence so that when we get put in these high stress situations, we could still function. You know, we're prepared. But no matter how much training we do, unless we're in that situation, unless you're in that life or death situation, you really don't know how you're going to respond. And as we get into these situations, as we get into these live combat situations, we actually get better. We actually connect the dots. We're able to draw from our preparation and study. I'm not saying that that's not what you need, because you definitely need it. You got to have that. But you've got to be able to put that theory into practice. And that's why, you know, I always say I support your success in practice, not theory. Okay, it's all about practice with me. You know, that's why I changed my mentoring strategy. That's why I changed everything that over the years as this industry has developed. I have developed, you know, how I help traders, because it's a totally different game right now. So it's all about your success through practice, you know, not through theory. Not saying you don't need it, you do, but you need to be able to put it into practice. What do I mean by that? All right, so a lot of you guys, I remember when I first started learning how to trade, in the class I took, the classes that I took, you know, you had to identify these chart patterns and all this stuff. And yeah, they help. But when you got in and you start saying, oh, this looks like a hammer, and it looks like it's gonna bounce, and you take it and it doesn't follow through, and you get frustrated. You know, it may follow through 1 or 2 times out of 10, and you get frustrated. It's like, why didn't this work? You know, why we see this pattern, why didn't it do what it's supposed to do? You're not prepared. Okay, you studied it. Okay, you prepared yourself to try to identify it. Oftentimes, by the time you identify it, it's too late. You know, you're getting in the trade too late, and you're going to get chopped out. Okay, learning these are good. Understanding these candlestick patterns, understanding these chart patterns, you know, helps you identify the trend. But until you're in there, until you're dealing with the price action, the live price action, until you're under live fire, it doesn't really make sense. Okay, and that's what I changed my mentoring to. That's why I do the shadow mentoring. That's why we do it during live trading sessions. Um, and that's where you get the most bang for your buck. All right, so let me further explain this. Let's look at our trading. Let's look at what we did um, overnight. Okay, when the market opened, okay, here we got the 5 minute opening low and high. All right, so typically what you see happen sometimes is the first candle, you're going to get this big sell off or you're going to get a big run up, and then the market tends to move in the other direction. So we saw this, and the market, here's the high, here's the low. It ran down and hit that low, and then once we got to the next candle, we started pushing up. Once we took out the high, that triggered an entry. Okay, so we were able to get, a nice little base hit on this. Okay, really, really nice base hit. Then it started to pull back, and we got rejected here. We came through again, no confirmation, no trade. And then we tried to take it again once, it confirmed taking out the high again, but no follow through. Never made it to the high. We ended up taking it off and just sat back and waited. Look at what this thing did. It put in a channel here. It put in a nice little channel where it was just trading inside support and resistance. Here's a daily resistance level right here. Where do we get those from? We get these off the daily chart. We mark the daily pivots on the daily chart. And you see how well they respect these daily pivots. So we were kind of caught up above this daily pivot. Once we sold off, and this right here wasn't done yet. This wasn't here yet. So I'm going to move this out the way. I'll bring this back later when we need it. So once we took out this daily pivot, we had a real nice sell-off all the way down to the 20-day, which is the blue line, 20-day moving average, right here on the daily chart. That's what that blue line is. And this was a perfect place to take profit. So we took profit here, and as it started to come through, we weren't going to chase it. You got to wait for it to give you the opportunity to take the trade. Now, yeah, you could be aggressive, and if it doesn't work, bail out. That's fine. But once you get into that aggressive mode, when the market starts chopping around, it can kind of chop you out. You're not really prepared for that when it gets to that point, especially if you're looking for this type of move. Now, we waited, and, hey, we bounced back, and we held this daily pivot. Okay, this was the 20-day moving average. This was the daily pivot. Remember, from the daily chart. So we held all of this. So once we made, we went up, we pulled back. Now remember, this wasn't here yet. Okay, so we were using this cam pivot here. We came through it, we pulled back, we held it. As soon as we got over the 50 period moving average here, this gold line here, we got in. Profit target right here. Final profit target. Or You could take, one depending on how much many contracts you have left. Um, but this was our final target, and you can see it did push up a little bit, but it rejected. It pulled back, and we did not take this trade here because look, now the trader I was working with wanted to take this trade. He wanted to take this short, but I told him no. This is why it's not a good idea to go short here. You had the 50 period moving average sitting right here. You had the lower Bollinger Band right here. It wasn't open yet. And you could see it really didn't follow through. I mean, yeah, you could have gotten a base hit on this, but it just didn't follow through. And so we waited, and this whole period right in here, we were kind of stuck between here and these two daily pivots. Well, this was the opening range high. So when this failed, I think we didn't take this trade because this was too close. When this failed and we waited until we got under this daily pivot here, we took this trade all the way down to 5-minute opening range low. You could see when you're patient and you wait for the price action to get out and get away from all of the support or resistance, you tend to get clean moves. 7-8 times out of 10, you're going to get really clean moves. Now, will the price trade back through all of this? Yeah. But why put yourself through all of that when you can just be patient and take the good moves? Why give some of your money back getting frustrated? So coming into this morning, this is when, we had the 5-minute opening range, but we don't even need to deal with that now. Here's what we were looking at this morning. Look at this. We're stuck in this channel, the daily pivots. Now, is this a nice window to trade in? Yeah. But look at all of this. Okay, look at all of this. The trader I was working with this morning was just itchy, wanting to trade. I had to point out, look at the wicks up here. We haven't taken out this daily pivot yet. Why would you want to buy? Why would you want to go long until we take out this daily pivot? Obviously, you could see where we reacted to this all throughout the night. Why would you not disregard this now? Makes no sense. So just sit on your hands and wait. Okay, we did take this trade and then had to stop out because we did close below all of this. We made a lower low, but it was a fake out. Okay, you have to be smart enough to take it off. Okay, you got to be smart enough to take it off. If not, it's going to nail you. So we took it off and kind of waited and waited and waited. So, by the time this guy was gone. So working with the next guy up, we saw this. We waited. Here, we dipped below. And because of what happened here, I told him, look, we don't want to do this. I know this kind of confirmed. We closed below this, and then we made a lower low. But look what happened back here. Okay, let's be patient. Let's wait for the retest. And look what it did. It bounced, rejected the the 9 moving average here, which is this red line, came back through. Now it was time to go. We gave it a time. We gave it a time to retest. We lost it again. It was time to go. Look at this. Nailed it. And after this move, I got messages all over the place. We got it. We got it. We got it. We made payout. Okay, stop trading. Take your payout. This is your first one. Take it tomorrow and then we get back to work. But being patient. Okay, how do you think you would have felt if you would have been stuck in this? How do you think you would have felt? I mean, this is frustrating. You can look at it and you could say, man, this looks harmless. But until you're in it and you have a position and you're watching it do this, if you're not prepared for this, it's going to mess you up. If you're not prepared to deal with price action and knowing, okay, it doesn't matter what patterns these things make, you know, whether it's a bullish pattern, bearish pattern, it doesn't matter. You've got to read the price action. You got to look at the whole picture. You got to look at the rest of the story. And that's where learning while you're trading live, being able to put into practice everything that you learn, and you learn how these things develop. That's the key to all of this. All these guys that are doing good and making money consistently and not rotating their accounts, you know, doing real good, taking money, then blowing their accounts up, starting over, you know, I guess, you know, that's a good strategy. But that's not what we want to do. Okay, that's not going to get us to the next level where we are actually paid as a funded trader. And that's our goal. And then on top of that, we want to put our money to work. The money that we make here, the idea is to make this money so we can open up our own account on NinjaTrader, our own personal trading account, so that we don't have to share our profits. Okay, and we can take our profits however we want, whenever we want. You know, we don't have to request it. We don't have to worry about whether somebody's going to deny it or not. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. All right, so I hope this helps you understand what I mean by, are you prepared? Okay, are you prepared? Because you have to be prepared for this. If you're not, things are not going to work out. Okay, things are not going to work out. You're going to be frustrated, and you're going to keep rotating accounts. You may get lucky, pass one. You may get lucky, get the payout, but your consistency is not going to be there to get to where you want to be. All right, so if you are struggling, if you need help, you know, hit me up. Like I said, these shadow mentoring sessions last about 3 hours, and you know, it's a full trading session where I'm showing you, I'm teaching you what to look for and how to read the price action as it's happening to keep you out of this stuff, so that you're not stuck in trades in through here, or you're not stuck in trades, you know, all through here when it's just going sideways. You know, we didn't take any of these trades other than this, and we didn't let this discourage us. because we know how the market is. We just kind of waited to see if it was going to come back again. It didn't come back during our session because we started our session a couple of hours ago before that. But look what happened. And he knew what to look for. He knew exactly what we were looking for, and he nailed it. That's what this is all about. So I hope this helps you guys. If, like I said, if you need more help, just hit me up. I'm here. That's my focus. Going forward is basically helping you guys one-on-one, spending hours while we're in the market trading, so you can be prepared to make money in the future. I mean, you can make money now. The future may be a day from now, 2 days from now. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And I'll catch back up with you later in the week.